If you just stopped buying lattes, you'd be a millionaire. You've heard this. Your parents have said it. Every personal finance influencer with a ring light has said it. It's a lie. And today I'm going to show you the math that proves it. I'm going to show you where your money is actually going. And I'm going to show you why the people telling you to skip the latte have a very good reason for keeping you distracted. Let's start with the math. Because the math is where this whole argument falls apart. The latte factor was popularized by David Bark in his 2004 book. The idea is simple: if you spend $5 a day on coffee, that's $1,825 a year. Invest that over 30 years at 10% returns, and you'd have roughly $300,000. Sounds compelling, right? But here's the thing. First, who's getting 10% average returns consistently for 30 years? The S&P 500 has averaged about 10% historically, but that's before inflation. After inflation, it's closer to 7%. At 7%, your latte savings become about $175,000 over 30 years. Second, we said $5 a day. But most people don't buy a latte every single day. The average American spends about $1,100 per year on coffee, all coffee, including what they brew at home. The out-of-home portion? Roughly $700 a year. $700 a year invested for 30 years at 7% real returns gives you about $66,000. $66,000. Over 30 years. That's your latte millionaire math in reality. Now here's what happened while you were agonizing over that $5 coffee. The median home price went from $119,600 in 2000 to $420,400 in 2024. That's a 251% increase. The average new car price went from $21,000 to over $48,000. The average annual health insurance premium for a family hit $24,800. The average cost of a 4-year degree crossed $160,000 at private institutions. But your wage? The median household income went from $42,000 to about $80,000 in that same period. A 90% increase against costs that rose 200 to 400%. And someone told you the problem was coffee. Let's look at where the average American household's money actually goes. Because it's not lattes. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spends $72,967 per year. Here's the breakdown. Housing, $24,298. That's 33% of everything. The single largest expense in your life, and it's been growing at 2 to 3 times the rate of wages for 2 decades. Transportation, $12,295. That's your car payment, insurance, gas, maintenance. And with the average new car loan now stretching to 72 months at 7.1% interest, you're paying roughly $9,000 in interest alone on a $35,000 car. Food, $9,343. And before you say just cook at home, $5,703 of that is already groceries. Only $3,639 is dining out. Groceries themselves are up 25% since 2020. Healthcare, $6,040 out of pocket, on top of the premiums your employer may be covering. A single emergency room visit averages $2,200. One ambulance ride, $1,300. A 3-day hospital stay, $30,000. Insurance and pensions, $8,006. Now this is where it gets interesting. Coffee and all non-alcoholic beverages combined? The BLS puts it at about $500 per year per household. That's 0.7% of total spending. 0.7%. You were told the 0.7% was the problem, while the other 99.3% went unquestioned. Let me show you the numbers that personal finance gurus never put in their videos. Because these numbers don't sell books. In 1970, a minimum wage worker could pay for a year of public college tuition with 306 hours of work. Today, that same tuition requires 4,459 hours at minimum wage. In 1980, the median home cost 3.5 times the median household income. Today, it costs 5.8 times the median household income. In cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York, it exceeds 10 times. Here's one that should make you angry. Between 1979 and 2023, worker productivity in America increased by 64.7%. Worker compensation increased by 14.8%. You are working harder. You are producing more. And you are keeping less of it than any generation before you. Where did the difference go? CEO compensation grew 1,460% between 1978 and 2023. The average worker's compensation grew 18% in that same period. But here's the thing that really gets me. The same financial industry that created the products keeping you in debt, the 28% Apple credit cards, the 7-year car loans, the adjustable rate mortgages, that industry turns around and tells you the problem is your spending habits. They sell you the debt. Then they sell you the book about how to get out of debt. The $10 latte is a scapegoat. It's small enough to feel controllable. It makes you feel like you're doing something. But it distracts you from the systemic forces that actually determine whether you build wealth or not. Housing policy, healthcare policy, education costs, wage stagnation, interest rates. These are the forces shaping your financial life. Not your coffee order. Okay. So if cutting lattes isn't the answer, what is? I'm not going to tell you spending doesn't matter. It does. But I'm going to tell you where to focus because your attention is limited and it needs to go where it actually makes a difference. Number 1. Housing. This is the single biggest lever in your financial life. The difference between spending 30% and 50% of your income on housing is not a latte, it's $800 to $1,500 per month. That's $10,000 to $18,000 per year. Get a roommate. Move to a lower-cost area. House hack a duplex. Negotiate your rent. These are unsexy moves that create massive financial leverage. Number 2. Income. Not saving more. Earning more. The median salary increase when switching jobs is 14.8%, compared to the average annual raise of 4 to 5% for staying put. Over a decade, strategic job hopping can mean $200,000 to $500,000 in additional lifetime earnings. But here's the thing. The finance industry doesn't make money when you earn more. They make money when you save and invest more through their products. So the advice is always cut expenses instead of demand more. Number 3. Avoid catastrophic financial decisions. These are the things that actually wreck people financially. Not lattes. Buying a house you can't afford. One decision. $200,000 plus in consequences. Taking on $120,000 in student debt for a degree that pays $40,000. One decision. A decade of struggle. Financing a $55,000 truck at 8% over 84 months. You'll pay $73,000 total. Getting married without discussing finances. The number 1 cause of divorce is money conflict. These are the decisions that matter. Not whether you order drip or cold brew. And the 4th lever, one that almost nobody talks about, is your tax strategy. If you watched my last video, you already know the tax code has tools that can save the average person $3,000 to $10,000 per year. That's 10 to 30 lattes a day, every day, all year. Buy the latte. I'm serious. If a $5 coffee brings you 20 minutes of joy on a hard Tuesday morning, buy it. Your financial life will not be won or lost on $5. It will be won or lost on the big decisions. The ones that take courage. The ones that take planning. The ones that nobody wants to talk about because they're harder to fit on a book cover. Stop letting millionaire influencers shame you for small pleasures while the systems around you extract thousands every month through rent increases, medical bills, and predatory interest rates. Focus on what matters. Ignore the noise. If this video changed how you think about money, even a little, subscribe. Next week, we're covering 7 money traps that are specifically designed to keep you poor. These are systems, products, and psychological tricks built to drain your bank account without you noticing. You're not going to want to miss it.